See, Turek, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Boro the Lucky Libra. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. As you can see by the title, we're continuing the Signs Through the Houses series, and we picking it up with Taurus in the second house. All right, y'all make sure to go check out Aries in the first house to get more of an intro of the second house energies. And before we get into it, y'all make sure to tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra, and also to tap into my classes that I now have up on my website. I have a Fundamentals to Reading the Natal Chart class, and I also have a Planetary Aspects class for those of y'all that really want to grasp the basics of, you know, different angle alignments in the chart when we talk about conjunctions, sextiles, oppositions, and more, right? Yeah, make sure to check out the Patreon as well. But without further ado, let's get right into it, okay? So, second house, guys. I'm not going to really be going over the second house in these videos. That's why I wanted y'all make sure you check out that Aries video where I go more in depth with the second house. But when we look in the second house, is a fixed earth house, and it's governing our value systems, which over time influence how we are a business approach, career approach, and what we feel like we have in this lifetime in order to utilize to build something, okay? So let's get right into it. Taurus in the second house. Most of the time, this is going to be an Aries rising here. All right, this is going to be an Aries rising. It may, based off your intercepted houses, you may be a Pisces rising that got Taurus in the first, starting in your second house, influencing your second house. So it really depends, okay? But overall, even if we dealing with intercepted houses, just know you're dealing with multiple influences in a house. So Taurus is fixed earth, all right, ruled by Venus. Taurus is naturally home here. Okay, Taurus is naturally home here. So when you have Taurus here, this person will feel like they have something to offer to the world. They will feel like they have something, whether it's a creative attribute, one of their talents. There's something that they're going to feel like they possess that they can build with, okay? If you know Aries risings, a lot of them, they don't necessarily need to be inspired, influenced by others. They come into this world devoted with something. That's my next note. They're pretty devoted 9 out of 10 times, okay? They're locked into something in that second house. The second house is a fixed earth house. So if you have the home sign Taurus here, that's already dealing with, you know, fixed signs is dealing with consistency, longevity, all right? Long term is locked in. There's a focus here, okay? So when you put this in the second house, when it comes to this person's career approach, when it comes to this person, utilizing, looking at how they could utilize what they have to build something in this lifetime, Taurus in the second house gonna find it. They gonna naturally have something here, all right? And this gets developed at an early age, whether it's a creative attribute, whether they're an athlete, whether it's, you know, something that they're into business-wise, whether it's them teaching. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so a lot of the times it may be something dealing with creativity here. It may be something real artsy here. When we talk about Venus in the second house energy, the second house already dealing with creativity, because this is the house that shows us what we feel like it is that we value within us, though, okay? Within us. Also influences what we value in the external realm, people, places, and things. But it's going to be a real artsy influence in coming out this house. Now, they're going to be steady, pinpointed, and patient when they deal with the career area, like when they deal with a business approach. They're willing to stay locked in for the long haul in what they're doing. They're willing to go through, you know, the experiences of building what they're building, all right? 9 out of 10 times you're gonna have a very thorough work ethic here, okay? You're gonna have a very thorough work ethic here. Don't like to waste time. We already know Aries, you know, Aries in the first house, Aries rising, the personality is always on go here, okay? Aries risings don't like being held back or feeling like other people slowing them up. This is why a lot of Aries don't like doing things with other people, because Mars wants to go ahead and go when it wants to go. And when Mars has to share space and whatnot with others, that starts to come off as a you know, too much weight, a burden, okay? So this person can feel like that here. Now, you know, just with Taurus here, Venus represents support. So when you have Venus influence signs in your houses on top of wherever Venus is at, you're going to receive support here in some type of shape or form, and you're going to be influenced to support yourself here, all right? So, you know, by default, Taurus in the second house may receive support and may incarnate into this lifetime with some type of material resources, or immediate connections for them to be able to connect to in order to get some support for what is it they want to do in some type of shape or form here. All right, may manifest stability early in life. Once again, this being the Aries rising, I like to say Aries risings live a natural life because their house system is already, all the signs is places is in, they're at home. There's places that they want to be. So when it comes to the personal life, having Aries here, this person already naturally has an individual outlook on their personal life. When it comes to Cancer in the 4th house, a lot of the times this person is going to be family oriented. You got Libra in the 7th house, this person's being influenced to learn how to compromise and relate. We got a Capricorn in the 10th house, this person's being influenced to build and structure something with their social status. That doesn't mean Aries risings don't have to go through the same lessons that we all have to go through with our rising signs. All rising signs have a life path. Aries still square Cancer in the 4th house. Cancer still square Libra in the 7th house. Aries still opposite to Libra in the 7th house. Aries still square Capricorn in the 10th house. But these signs are where they're at naturally. So looking at an Aries rising, you're going to naturally see an Aries play out, when it comes to their career life, when it comes to the relationship life. A lot of the times Aries risings can manifest situations where it's like things are kind of working in time for them a little bit, all right? So they could manifest stability early. May have that emotional support within the home, family environment, okay? They have that personal drive in the 1st house. So with Taurus in the 2nd house, it influences them to be locked in on something, okay? And they'll end up utilizing their resources. They'll end up locking in on that value, that creative attribute they have at a young age, or understanding what that is, and embracing that. By the time they're 21, the early 20s, they got some form of state, a little bit more stable than their peers. Okay. Now the thing here is, on a more negative side, with Taurus here, we know it's fixed. So, and it's dealing with Venus. Venus dealing with our pleasures. It's dealing with being comfortable to a degree. I like to say the moon deals with being comfortable, but Venus does deal with comfortability to a degree. So, Taurus here could get a little laxed and comfortable. They're going to be locked in. They're going to consciously know what they value, but can be a bit lax and comfortable at times, especially based off of how comfortable their surroundings have been developed. Okay, so that could take away a little bit from the drive here, depending on how the surroundings is. So Taurus in the 2nd house, be careful with that. Okay, don't let up with the things that you want to stabilize in this lifetime. Okay, could be a little reluctant to change things here. So even though we have Taurus home here, we still have the debilitation of Mars and Pluto, because Mars and Pluto is naturally debilitated in the Taurus archetype. So just like how I always tell you, you can't just take into consideration the element, the modality, and the ruler. We have debilitations and falls that influence the areas too. So they're gonna be locked in, but there may be times that it may be hard for them to entertain other advice, and energies that's playing out as a support system. They may be a little too stubborn towards that because they trust what they're doing so much. They don't want to block out outside help. So you gotta be able to be open to things that deal with transformation. It's great to be naturally locked in here when it comes to your creative attributes and how you could utilize that to build career. It's great to be locked in and stay consistent and devoted towards what it is, that goal you have, or what is it that's going to build you some security and stability in this lifetime. But you got to be open to transformation and doing things different from time to time, especially when you feel the influences of universe trying to use different vessels, people, places, and things to influence you to do things a little different. All right. Taurus here can be mature with their money management. It can also start leaning on being a bit frugal, a little cheap there. I ain't call y'all cheap. I just say a little cheap. I ain't say y'all all the way cheap. But for the most part, money management is going to be somewhat of a natural focus here. They're not just going to be giving away their resources, giving away what they have. They're already locked in what they doing career-wise, so they feel like they got to make sure they use their resources. This is another thing to understand. Taurus is going to bring support here. Venus is going to bring support here. Utilize these resources in the 2nd house. Don't be lackadaisical with the resources you have to build what you want to build, and then later on you trying to reach out for them. They're not there because the universe is trying to influence you to use. With great power comes great responsibility. Use what you have. Make use of what you have. Okay, so that's important to understand. And this house also influences self-esteem. So Taurus here, this person not being where they want to be at life financially, career-wise, will heavily affect the self-esteem. That could do that to any individual with us just dealing with our personal goals. But because this Taurus here, this person already feel like there's something that they feel like they have to offer to the world. They already come in here with a strong value system with Taurus in the second house. So dealing with, you know, any shortcomings or having to place more patient, they're going to be patient in this area, okay? Aries be ahead of themselves a lot of the time. The head, Aries in the first house, they be ahead of themselves a lot of the time. But Taurus, when they get to this area, this is what they choose to be a little bit more diligent and focused on, all right? So it's going to be patience here to a degree, but the form of stability and the form of security they have can heavily affect their moods and their overall well-being and their self-esteem. So guys, y'all gotta make sure you got Taurus in this house. Don't let it get to you that much. Stay devoted. You know, understand there's a marathon here. All right, your personality, that Aries in the first house, you know, it wants it when it wants it. Got a whole bunch of passion. So make sure that doesn't exhaust yourself, and you're able to feed that garden. I like to call the second house a garden. You're able to keep watering your garden as you're supposed to. All right, guys. So y'all already know what it is. It's your guy Board, Lucky Libra. That's Taurus in the second house, alright? Y'all make sure to tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra. Tap into the Patreon where I'm getting into exclusive content, monthly classes, and more. Until next time, we picking it up with Gemini in the second house. Peace.